Quick question. What are you waiting for? No, seriously. I want you to think about that thing that you've been putting off, the move you haven't made, the conversation you haven't had, the pivot you haven't taken, that boundary that you haven't set. Yeah, you know exactly the one I'm talking about. Now, here is the uncomfortable truth. You're not waiting because you're not ready. You're waiting because you're hoping someone is going to tap you on the shoulder and say, all right, now you can start. Now you're enough. Now it's time. Now you're ready. Picture a race. Everyone else is already on the track, running, failing, getting up, making progress. And you're still stretching at the starting line, waiting for someone to blow the whistle. But here's what no one told you. There's no whistle. The race started a long time ago. And you've been waiting for a starting gun that is never going to sound. That's what we're talking about today. The permission trap. And I see this pattern constantly. Smart, capable, talented people who are waiting. And it always sounds the same. I'll go for the promotion once I've proven myself more. I'll set that boundary after this problem is resolved. I'll negotiate my salary once I've been here longer. I'll speak up in a meeting once I have more data. I'll ask for what I need when I'm tired. Do you hear the pattern? I'll start when. And it sounds strategic. It sounds responsible. It sounds like someone who's being thoughtful about timing. But it's not. It's avoidance disguised as preparation. And here's how it works. Somewhere along the way, you learned that you need external validation before you're allowed to act. Someone had to tell you that you were smart enough, good enough, ready enough. Probably a teacher, a boss, a parent, a client. Someone outside of you had to grant you permission. And now you're still operating from that programming. You've outsourced your permission slip and you're waiting for someone to sign it. But that permission that you're waiting for is not coming because the only person who can sign that slip is you. So let's talk about what this is actually costing you. Because the permission trap doesn't feel expensive. In fact, it feels safe. It feels smart. It feels like you're just being thorough. But here's the breakdown of the invisible price that you're paying. It's costing you time. Every day that you wait for permission is a day that you could have been building, gaining the kind of learning that only comes through action, not preparing to act. It's costing you money. That position that you won't apply for, that rate that you won't negotiate, that promotion you didn't go for, that client you won't ask, that's revenue or opportunity. It's going to someone else, someone who didn't wait for permission. And it's depleting your energy. Do you know how exhausting it is to be in a perpetual preparation mode? To always getting ready but never actually starting? It completely drains your motivation and it robs your momentum like nobody's business. But here's the cost that hurts the most. It's eroding your self-trust. Every time that you tell yourself, I'll start when, and then you don't start when that condition is met because, well, guess what? A new condition appears. You erode your own credibility with yourself. You're teaching yourself that your word doesn't mean anything. You're teaching yourself that you can't be trusted to follow through. And that, my friend, is the most expensive cost at all. Because when you don't trust yourself to start, you don't trust yourself to lead, you don't trust yourself to charge what you're worth, you don't trust yourself to hold a boundary, you don't trust yourself to make the right call. The permission trap doesn't just delay your career or your business or your life, It literally dismantles your self-belief. So let's expose the three lies the permission trap tells you. Because once you see them, they'll stick out like a sore thumb. Lie number one, the credential crutch. Once I get the certification, once I have that degree, once I've been doing this for X number of years. Now, look, sometimes you do need credentials. If you're practicing law, you need a license. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the extra credential, the one that you're collecting after you already have what you need, the one that feels like preparation, but it's actually protection. Let me give you an example of what this looks like in the wild. I had a client, Nat, who was convinced she needed a bachelor's degree because she was capped at 40K. Single mom, two sons in football. She believed that the only path to more income was 4 years at university. And when I asked her what position she had applied to, she said, none. She disqualified herself before she had even tried. The pattern had already decided what doors were open to her. Within a few sessions, we cleared the pattern. 6 months later, a 20K increase. 2 years later, she doubled her salary. No degree needed. And here's what I've learned. The people who succeed aren't the ones that are most credentialized. They're the ones who start before they felt ready. Because ready isn't a feeling, it's a decision. And the ultimate truth is you already know enough to help someone a step behind you. So here's lie number two, the timing trap. Once the marketplace stabilizes, once things calm down, once I have more bandwidth. All right, well, I spent 13 years on the stock market, and you know what I learned about timing? Is there's never a perfect moment. There is only the right action. The present moment is all you get. And you can either use it or waste it, waiting for conditions that will never perfectly align. And the ultimate truth is the timing will never be right. The timing is made right by your decision to take the right action. Lie number three, the feedback loop. This is the sneakiest one because it doesn't always sound like waiting for permission. Sometimes it sounds like, I just want to get some feedback first. Let me run this by a few people. I need to validate this idea before I move. And look, feedback is valuable. Input can be useful. But there is a difference between gathering information and outsourcing your decision. When you can't move without it, when you're polling 5 people before every decision, when you need someone to co-sign your own knowing, that's not research. That's outsourcing your authority. The ultimate truth is that you don't need confirmation. You need conviction. Okay, I'm going to tell you something you already know. So resist the urge to roll your eyes and shut down. We all need to hear this from time to time, myself included. You're not spinning because you don't know what to do. You know exactly what to do. You knew 5 minutes into this episode. You're spinning your wheels because you're waiting for someone to give you permission to do it. And I need you to hear me. That permission slip that you're waiting for, it is never coming. Your industry isn't going to give it to you. Your boss isn't going to give it to you. Your family isn't going to give it to you. That mentor that you're hoping will tap you on the shoulder, they can't give it to you either. The only person who can sign your permission slip is you. And until you do, you're going to keep standing at the starting line, waiting everyone else run, wondering when it's going to be your turn. But here's the thing. Listen, this isn't a character flaw. It's a protection mechanism. At some point, waiting for permission kept you safe. It kept you from getting hurt, judged, rejected. Your subconscious learned, don't move until someone says it's okay. But that strategy that protected you then, it's imprisoning you now. So here's what I want you to do. Think about that thing that you've been waiting to start. Yeah, the one that came to mind at the very beginning of this episode. Now ask yourself, what would I do if I already had permission? Not what would I do if I felt ready, not what would I do if the timing were right, but what would I do if I already had permission? And I'm inviting you to take one action this week, just one. Not the whole kit and caboodle, not the perfect execution, not the complete transformation. One action. One action that someone with permission would take. Send the email, have the conversation, set the boundary, make the ask, take the position, move like someone who already has the permission slip signed because you do. You just forgot that you're the one holding the pen. Now, here's what I know about the permission trap. Sometimes you can see it. Sometimes you can even name it. But breaking it, that's harder to do alone because the pattern has roots. And those roots, they live in places that you can't always see. And that's why I offer free clarity calls. 30 minutes, it's just us. We get underneath the surface pattern and we find the root. And the fun part is you'll leave with clarity on what's actually keeping you from moving forward and a powerful next step that doesn't require anyone else's permission. So if you're ready to find the root, the link is in the show notes. Book a call. Let's do this. But whether you book a call or not, I want you to leave this episode with one thing. You don't need permission to be powerful. You don't need a certification to be credible. You don't need perfect timing to take action. You don't need someone else's approval to trust yourself. The race started a long time ago. The whistle has already been blown. The real question is, are you going to keep stretching or are you going to run? Coming up next week, the self-imposed breakdown or breakthrough. If you're running on fumes, your calendar is maxed, but your results have flatlined, and your body is starting to send you signals that you just can't ignore, you're not going to want to miss that one. Until then, trust your intuition, take aligned action, and keep leading with soul.